Hey, welcome to chapter 10. It's the first chapter on the legislative branch, which will be the first branch of government we talk about when we talk about testing for the Constitution. Now, remember the US Constitution test is a requirement to graduate by law in the state of Illinois. So let's get this going. In the US, we have a bicameral legislature. Bicameral means two, bi, two. It's pretty easy to remember. How many is that again? Two. Remember that. It's kind of important. You'll be tested on it. The first one is the House of Representatives, which is on one side of the Capitol building. The second one is the Senate, which is on the other side of the Capitol building. Now, the U.S. has new elections every 2 years. One third of the Senate gets reelected every 2 years, and every member of the House of Representatives is reelected every 2 years. The main function of the government or the main function of Congress, excuse me, is to make laws and frame public policy. This is what the Capitol building looks like. The larger side is for the House of Representatives because they have more members. They have 435 members versus the Senate's 100. Let's compare the House and the Senate. The top part of this is the more important part. You need to know that the House of Representatives has a larger body, 435 members, versus the Senate's smaller body of 100 members. It has a shorter term in the House, a longer term in the Senate, which has 6 years. The House of Representatives have smaller constituencies. That means the people who vote for them, there are less people in each area. So the House you're voted into a House of Representatives by a district within a state. In the Senate, you're voted by the entire state. So the entire state votes on if you become a senator or not. The House has a younger membership, while the Senate has an older membership. The House of Representatives is less prestigious, and the Senate is more prestigious. The House has strict rules and limited debate, while the Senate has really flexible rules, but they have unlimited debate. The House works mostly in committees, while the Senate works in between, equally between the floor and committees. You have limited power over treaties and presidential appointment in the House, while you have some power over those things if you're a senator. The reason a representative's term is so short is because they're held accountable to the people they represent back home more so than a senator. A senator represents the entire state. So if they're not doing a good job, the entire state has to get together and vote on them. A representative represents a district, which has a limited number of people. And so they're more likely to vote people who are doing a bad job out of office quicker than the entire state will. Now, the House, there are 435 people in the House of Representatives. You need to know that number. That number is based on our population. It's based on the population of each state. So, Wyoming, which has a very small population, has one member in the House of Representatives. Only one. California, which has a very large population, has 53 members in the House of Representatives. Now, it's important to note that each state only must have at least one member in the House. This is another thing that's important for the Constitution test is the qualifications to be a representative. Qualifications to be in the House of Representatives. You have to be 25 years old. You have to be a U.S. citizen for at least 7 years. And you have to live in the state in which you're elected. Now, there's an unofficial qualification, and that is that you have to live in the district that votes for you, that you represent. I kind of skipped over how many times you can be reelected. It's unlimited. You need to know that. Representatives and senators can be can be elected an unlimited number of times. That's how we get career politicians. And then representatives can be expelled or impeached from the House by 2/3 majority vote if they commit a crime. But in the last 200 years, only 5 members have been expelled from the House. That's what the House of Representatives looks like. That's what the House looks politically. Reappropriation. Every 10 years, there's a census goes out, counts all the people in the United States. This ends up determining the size of the districts in each state, the size and the shape of the districts in each state. Currently, Illinois has 18 representatives. Off-year elections, this is when there are congressional elections. That means we're voting for senators and members of the House of Representatives, but we're not voting for the president. So the next time this occurs in 2018, in 2016, we'll be voting for president, so that's not when it'll be. Usually the political party that holds the presidency, loses seats in Congress. It's just kind of a balancing act. I'm not quite sure how that works out. Some sort of a backlash thing, but just kind of how it happens, how people tend to vote. There are 2 types of representatives. Single-member districts. The state's broken down into districts, and each district elects a representative. And then at-large districts, which is where representatives are elected by the entire state. Usually single-member districts. That's what we do in Illinois. So the states in green are the states that their population has gone down. So they've lost votes in Congress. They've lost votes in the House of Representatives. Illinois, you'll see, actually went down another one since this map has been drawn. And states in blue have gained seats. So Texas gained 2, California gained 1. There is a huge problem with regards to reappropriations is gerrymandering. This is where the political parties kind of illegally draw districts to help their political party. So what happens is they draw these strange, weird districts so that more Republicans or more Democrats get voted into Congress. Happens all the time. It's a little less. It happens a little less now than it did in the past, just because more people kind of keep an eye on it now. So the next video will be on the Senate. Tune in.